Hello, everybody. This is going to be Not a News Network's first live show. Bear with me. I'm going to be getting everything set up. Tweeting out these links for a second. Go to this view. So this is our website too. I don't know if anybody has not seen our website. It's notanews.network. Go check that out. I'm going to be putting, I guess I can just give you a walkthrough. The media right here, that is going to change because right now I am going to let's see. How can I do this? It's a good question. I don't know. It's the first time doing this. Alright, don't want to hear an echo. Sorry. Put this URL in here. Boom, sweet. So now on the website, give it a second here. These are just default videos, ignore these. I'll change those. I'll get some videos up for everybody. Alrighty. Let's go over here. Let's refresh it. See? Ah, yeah, there it is. So you guys can also watch over here on our website. The live stream will be right there as it is right now. We got a few things in news here. I guess since I haven't discussed any of this and this is our first episode, I'll go ahead and go over some of these things today on our show. Also, right here, I got this tab called The Evidence. This big blue button right here, here's the evidence. This is a great website. This is a crowdsourced website, but give it a second to load here. So on here, they just have some quick stats now. 1.5 million ballots touched by anomalies. Oh, that's just on this website. That's not good. Anyways, so if you scroll through here, there's all these sources. Like for example, Nevada, 4,000 people voted twice. This is on MSN of all things too. So yeah, this is a great website. If you have people telling you that there's no proof of the fraud, no evidence, here is theevidence.com, or you can go to our website, the evidence tab, click right there. This exclusive tab, I'll get this set up. We'll be doing like, I don't know, like some paid subscription, something. We'll figure it out what I want to do with that. But yeah, so let me explain kind of what I want this channel to be, and then I'll get into talking about what I want to talk about. New stories going on today. Today has a lot in store for it. I expect it to be a big day. Hopefully while we're on live, some breaking news will come out. That would be awesome, right? So, yeah, I'll just scroll through this page quick so you guys can get an idea of just how much is on here. I mean, there is a lot. This is only like halfway down the page, so yeah. Definitely go check this out. There's a lot of data, a lot of material. So, our first story, this is one that I've been real excited for. So, Mr. Chrissy Cuomo, Mr. Andrew Cuomo's brother. I don't know why I said Chrissy Cuomo, I just hate Chris Cuomo too. Not hate, hate's a strong word. Anyway, so, Mr. Andrew Cuomo here, accused of sexual harassment by former advisor. Let's see. This does not have the link to the tweet. So, I'll pull up the tweet, but anyways, what it says here, former advisor to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is accusing him of sexual harassment, alleging that the behavior went on for years. Now, before we get much further into this, I just want to remind you guys of something that happened not too long ago. Not too long ago at all. Andrew Cuomo. Okay, not this one. I have all this stuff laid out before it started, and already I've got it everywhere. So, alright. So, this was just back in good old September. Our friend Chris Cuomo was discussing allegations of sexual harassment. He's been accused of sexual harassment. Remember, trust all victims. Nobody's supposed to be allowed. Yo, Madden Mobile King. I assume that's got to be my boy. But so yeah, back to where was I? So this leaked audio came out. Let's see. Yeah, thank God they actually have it linked. We'll go ahead and play this. Here, I'll go ahead and.
Well, you remember Michael Cohen? He was a lawyer in New York. He was once the president's lawyer.
Get rid of this.
Cohen was indicted for tax evasion.
We'll go like this.
And he went to prison. When the topic of Michael Cohen comes up, the one thing everyone who knows Michael Cohen can agree on, the one thing is that he's a sleazeball. Not a minor sleazeball, but an epic sleazeball, a Hollywood-level sleazeball. If they ever make Sleazeball the movie, Michael Cohen will play the lead, and he'll be in every sequel, too. He'll have to be. He was born for that role. So it's interesting to note that among Michael Cohen's close personal friends is an anchor on the cable news network. And not just any CNN anchor, but the CNN anchor given to the most overheated possible moral lectures. The first guy on that channel to invoke God himself and the Blessed Mother if necessary, as he scolds you for not living up to his high ethical standards. That man's name is Christopher Charles Cuomo, son of one governor, brother of another, Yale graduate, weightlifter, deeply good person. And also, we now learn, a buddy of Michael Cohen's. We know this because we have an audio tape of a conversation between the two men. Apparently, there are many tapes like this. But tonight, we're going to play you just a portion of one. Before you listen to this, try to remember what Chris Cuomo sounds like when you watch him on television. You've seen him, admit it. Then compare that version, that memory, the official morally inflated Chris Cuomo, to the guy you hear in this recording. Here you go.
I'm always careful when I talk to media, you know?
Right.
You know how many phone calls I've gotten from people at ABC who say that reporters are calling and lying about things they heard about me to try to get stories about me when I was at ABC? Guys calling and saying, I heard he was the Charlie Rose of ABC, used to invite women to the hotel and open his bathroom. Do I look like the kind of guy who's got to do that?
Sure, why not?
Do I look like the kind of guy that's got to do that? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from the same people that bought and used fake weights to make themselves look strong on video. Anyway, let's pull over this bad boy right here. So this is Lindsey Boylan. This is the person that is now accusing Cuomo. So let's go through and read what she had to say. Name the worst job you've ever had. Mr. Jerry Evanium right here tweeted out. So Lindsay's going to quote tweet it. She's going to say, the most toxic team environment? Working for New York Governor Cuomo. I've had many jobs. Waitressing at Friendly's as a teenager was an infinitely more respectful environment. Wow, let me tell you, that's saying something. Friendly's is just about the opposite of their name when you go in there and you actually go to Friendly's. Even when I had bad customers who tipped poorly, if people weren't deathly afraid of him, they'd be saying the same thing, and you'd already know the stories. Seriously, the messages and texts I receive when I speak the truth about this, it's a whole book of people who have been harmed. So, was that video quiet? I feel like that video was probably quiet. That'll be fixed. I gotta get stuff set up still. Anyways, let's discuss what she's saying right here. If people weren't deathly afraid of him. So you wonder, why would people, this terrible thing happens to him, this terrible act. Let me turn this back on. All right. So, why would people be deathly afraid of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo? Well, let's just break it down here. He's the governor of New York, where the Big Apple is, big state, great state of New York, right? It comes along with a little bit of power. You know, there's a lot of people underneath him, a lot of people that can do a lot of things. Then we see his brother, Chris Cuomo. He's one of CNN's leading anchors. So imagine going after somebody like Andrew Cuomo. Not only is he the governor of a state, you're now accusing the governor. His brother, and it wouldn't be the first time his brother did this, his brother has ruined people's lives by running fake stories on CNN. So nothing's off the table when these people are protecting themselves, right? Let's continue. Don't be surprised that the same small group of white people sitting alongside him at every presser, the same group that has had him the whole time doing his dirty work. If you're not one of those handful, your life working for him is endlessly dispiriting. I tried to quit 3 times before it stuck. I've worked hard my whole life, hustled, fake it till you make it style. That environment is beyond toxic. I'm still unwrapping it years later. And I'm a privileged person. I could opt out, and eventually did. I shudder to think what happens to others. It pisses me off so much. Yes, I did not sign whatever they told me to sign when I left. Nope. So, this is who is alleging against Andrew Cuomo. This is our first story, Andrew Cuomo. So, Lindsey Boylan, protect her. Let's see if we can help find out anything that could help her coming forward with her allegations against Cuomo. If you guys see this, make sure. There's endless knowledge out there to be learned. Nobody knows everything about any subject, and this is just the tip of the iceberg on this story, like so many others. So yeah, just wanted to start off with that, let you know Andrew Cuomo's a dick, and he sucks. Okay, so now this is great right here. This was the Interim Michigan Forensic Report that came out today. It was released today. So what happened is a Michigan judge was attempting to seal this after they allowed this forensic audit, right? So they allowed it. They're like, yeah, we'll just go in there. There's nothing wrong. They keep saying this is the thing. There's nothing. There's no fraud. There's no widespread fraud. If you find anything, it's human error. It's a glitch, whatever. Okay, so they do the full forensic report, and we know they completed the report. Yesterday, there was a big issue where the judge was blocking this report from being unsealed and made public. Today, it has been unsealed and made public. So, I recommend you definitely go read this. I can throw a link to it in the chat, I believe. I don't see why I couldn't, right? I might not be able to. I don't have this stuff set up yet. It's not good. Not good. No, I think. Here we go. I'll do it right here. So, boom, there's the Dropbox that I'm looking at right now. Okay. Close some of this stuff. So, I recommend you go read this. I'm not going to get into everybody's background. So, this Russell James Ramsland, he's spoken a few times at some of the hearings. He's very smart. You can see here, he's worked for NASA. He graduated from MIT. Same story for all these people working on this. So, the purpose of this forensic audit is to test and study the integrity of Dominion's voting system and how it performed in Antrim County, Michigan in the 2020 election. So, I think it's good to understand a few things before we get into it. I'll fact check this live. So, Antrim County, I believe, is very solid red. I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, all the news is about this that we're looking at right now. Let's see. we'll just go to the, I don't know. I assume it's a Trump County. It might even say in here. So this right here, this sentence is a big one. We conclude that the Dominion voting system is intentionally and purposefully designed with inherent errors to create systematic fraud and influence election results. The system intentionally generates an enormously high number of ballot errors. The electronic ballots are then transferred for adjudication. The intentional errors lead to bulk adjudication of ballots with no oversight, no transparency, and no audit trail. This leads to voter or election fraud. Based on our study, we conclude that Dominion voting systems should not be used in Michigan. We further conclude that the results of Antrim County should not have been certified. This is going to be a common story that you keep seeing more and more if forensic audits are allowed. Obviously, these are all the same and very similar machines in every state. They don't make a machine specifically for Michigan and a machine specifically for Georgia. So let me kind of explain. There's some big words in here. So when they scan ballots, there's a few stages. So where this begins to go wrong is there's an initial machine that scans the ballot and reads it and converts that into code that the computer and systems can read, right? So the same way like one of your Scantron tests would work in high school, you know, you fill in the bubbles and it converts those bubbles into whatever. They tell you to fill in the bubbles complete. You got to fill in the bubbles how they say or the machine won't read it, right? So that's a common thing. And it happens where a signature won't match or a bubble is filled in incorrectly, multiple bubbles are filled in, whatever it may be, right? And the machine pulls it up as an error. So we'll go on in this, I believe. So, yeah, okay, right here. This is what we want. The allowable election error rate established by the Federal Elections Commission guidelines is 1 in 250,000 ballots. We reserved an error rate of 68.05%. This demonstrated a significant and fatal error in our security and election integrity. So, what does this mean? That error rate, the max it's allowed to be, the amount of errors that there should be without something being wrong, that this is set by the FEC, 0.0008%. We observed an error rate of 68.05%. So what this means is over half, nearly 70% of all ballots in this county, when they ran them through the first machine to check them for errors and convert them into the machine, 68.05% of those needed to be adjudicated, which means there's an error somewhere on it and the ballot either needs, some states have different processes, and then some precincts have different processes based on the system too. So, for example, what we saw in Detroit, we saw a lot of poll watchers have affidavits coming forward saying that when a ballot needed adjudicated or corrected, so what they did in that case was they would copy it down to a new blank ballot and they would assume that would run through the machine, right? Here, what happens is the adjudication process would be all on the computer. So it'll scan in your ballot. If it detects a problem or if it can't read it, it gets adjudicated. 68.05%, the large majority of votes, apparently had an error on them that made them unreadable. And so on a computer, a poll worker, whoever it is there at the time, they go into the computer and they select who that person intended to vote for. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like one of the most unsecure systems ever. That's extremely easy for someone sitting there on the computer to pick someone else. There's videos that have came out showing that. That makes it extremely easy. So you have this batch of, let's just make it 70%. 70% of all ballots cast in this county, they take them, they set them to the side. They can't be read, right? So now that's going into the system, those can't be read. Those physical paper ballots are still there, right? But who they voted for, they don't know. They have all those ballots. They could put all 70% of that as Joe Biden, and a person could do that. A computer could do that. Whoever wanted to do it could do it, right? The problem comes when, like I said, someone could make all those for Joe Biden, and let's say now they're like, oh, we think there's fraud because they made all 70% of the adjudicated ballots for Biden. Their rebuttal then would be that they can do a hand recount. A hand recount is just counting these same ballots. They're not counting the individual who voted for every single person. That's unrealistic to even do. So in this case, what they did is they did a full forensic audit, because this same county, on election day, there was a glitch where it flipped votes, but they called that human error. It wasn't a big deal because it was a Trump county. But clearly, if there's a glitch or something, it should be looked into. They look into it, they find this. This is a big deal. These machines are being used in almost every swing state. And right here, I mean, based on this result, the results of Antrim County 2020 election are not certifiable. This is a result of machine or software error, not human error. So there is clearly something wrong with this machine. We've investigated. We forensically found that now. So this is the big news today, guys. This is important. Make sure you share this around for anybody that's watching. Make sure to get this out, because this is a big deal. I want to go back. We'll discuss some of the articles I've posted, and then the Nevada GOP is right now making a statement. Sorry, I'm looking at this screen. RSBN, great guys. Support them. They always have this stuff live. The Nevada GOP electors are here voting for Trump, so that's what this is right now. So what basically every swing state is doing, here, I'll go ahead and mute this. Basically what every swing state is doing right now is, today electors are getting sent in. I'm sure you saw Bill and Hillary casting their vote because they are electors, and those are the people, Bill and Hillary Clinton. That's who I want representing me in the Electoral College. Anyways, if you don't know how the process works, there's groups of GOP electors, there's groups of DNC electors. What we're seeing here is Nevada is going to send their DNC electors to DC. Those don't get counted until January 6th. The electoral votes that are put in today don't get counted until January 6th. Let me make that very clear. What they're doing here is the GOP electors are also certifying the vote for Trump. They're voting for Trump. And so let me hide this. Oops. That and that, so you can see this. So they're saying now they'll be sent to DC, the Secretary of State. So what they're doing is, this is in preparation. Things are still going on. This is what everybody should be very clear about. This is far from over. GOP electors right now are casting their vote for Donald Trump. In the event that, for example, anything like the executive order from 2018 comes out in the next couple days, whatever it may be, that would change the outcome of this election, the GOP electors have voted. So, this is a big deal. Kind of more just procedural stuff, though. But it's good. We're moving forward. This isn't it. That's what that'll go and show. Here's the evidence. We'll go ahead and close that. Okay. So, let's see. Let's start with what I said about Dominion, because I think it's important. I'll turn on this and this and this. We'll turn off this so you can kind of see better. Alright, get a drink. Dominion Voting Systems Deep Dive and Fact Check Part 1. So in this, I kind of just explained a few things that Dominion's making a lot of claims, and you might have even saw, pull this up real quick, actually. Maybe. My bottom bar right there. Let's see. Smartmatic. Defamation. Smartmatic demands justice for defamation. Wow. So who wronged Smartmatic? Let's find out, guys. So Smartmatic down here from Boca Raton, Florida. That's interesting, though. I assumed Smartmatic would be out of the country since just about all their stuff is. They're basically, in its demand letters, Smartmatic informed the organizations that it's reserving all its legal rights and remedies, including its right to pursue defamation or disparagement cases. So what defamation is, if you heard of defamation of character, when someone makes false statements or puts things out that hurt a business or hurt your character, hurt your revenue, whatever it may be, you can argue a lot of things. You would file a defamation suit. So Nick Sandmann won a couple $1 million, maybe a couple $100 million, I'd have to check again, from CNN and them because they defamed him. They tried to ruin his life for no good reason. Over here we have Smartmatic, a company that their ties and history are concerning to say the least. Let's move back over here. So you can go read this, obviously. I'm not going to explain it all. But, so in this video, Dominion doesn't show up for the Pennsylvania hearing. This, let's see if it says a date right here. No. But, if you saw this, let's get this off here, maybe it does. Yeah, so this was November 20th. Dominion had agreed to show up for this hearing and argue their side of the story, why their machines are safe and secure. Because I don't know if you've noticed, all these hearings are a lot of poll watchers. I don't want to say Republicans or GOPers because it's not even. Go watch them. Half of them have no political ties to parties, whatever. The news is really trying to frame it as that. Dominion said they would show up, and they did not. This happened in Arizona too, I know. They said they would show up for the hearing. They did not. He who has nothing to hide hides nothing. What do they have to lose by going and saying why they think they're innocent? All these people are accusing them of stealing an election, stealing the United States election. That's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. And so, for them to not be able to show up and testify for themselves, not really testify, but explain themselves, obviously they know these systems better than anybody. So if they did nothing wrong, they should be able to come out and discredit everything that's being said. All they're able to do is release press releases saying, stop saying we do bad things or we're going to sue you. That's as far as they've got. Here's an RSBN. I believe this is the full live stream from the Michigan State Senate Committee Oversight hearing. This is a very good video. I'd definitely recommend go watching this in its full. They had very good witnesses here. And this, like I said, I'm pretty sure most of the witnesses here were either independents or maybe even Democrats. Like, you should have seen it. This has nothing to do with who wins or loses, and it's all about making sure our elections are safe and secure. If this election's stolen, how can we ever trust another election? So, if they have nothing to hide and there's no voter fraud, why won't they come out and show us that? Why are they trying to seal cases like this one right here that we were talking about earlier? Why would they try to seal this? What do they have to hide? Go make sure you go read through this too. This is a good and very good. This is the electronic management server. Like, wow. Just an old Dell PC they were using to run all the data through. How easy would it be to come up to this? Oh, anybody that knows anything about computers knows how easy it would be to tamper with this from almost any attack point. You can be there physically, plug in a USB. You don't even need a USB if you know what you're doing. You virtually, this thing's gonna be hooked to the internet clearly if this is what they're using to as their server. Obviously it's hooked up to the internet, and it could be a local server with, but either way it's hooked up to all their machines, right? And I'm assuming, I'd say it's safe to assume that it's hooked up to the internet. So down here, this is where I kind of get into the meat and potatoes of what I wrote about. Because if we go to Dominion's website, let's do that quick. Let's see if they still have Dominion. Dominion Energy, expected that. Oops. There we go. So Dominion voting systems. Get the facts. Learn more. Latest news. That's what you want to do. This is just like them putting the COVID tab on Twitter all over again. Get the facts. So imagine O.J. Simpson kills his wife, and O.J. Simpson creates a website, and on his website he says, I did not kill my wife. Like, there you go. There's all the proof you need right there that O.J. Simpson didn't do it. He said it himself. He didn't do it. That's what this is equal to. Dominion is a private American company that provides voting systems in 28 states, including red and blue jurisdictions. The fact that Dominion puts red and blue jurisdictions in there, since its founding in 2003, I mean, has almost every jurisdiction probably flip-flopped. There's some that are solid either way. It's just irrelevant stuff. They just put all this in here. Are capable of producing paper records that are 100% auditable. So, interesting how in Michigan they started trying to file suits to allow them to wipe all the data on the machines. Why would they want to do that? Yep, so they just go on. Who owns Dominion voting systems? As verified by the Associated Press. Like, if the Associated Press has to verify for you who you're owned by, imagine I work at a small business, and I'm writing this, and I'm like, how can I prove to people that we're not owned by George Soros? Would I link an Associated Press fact check, or would I show them the filings and the LLC documents, however they run their company, corporation, I'm sure, whatever it is? Why wouldn't I show that and prove that I'm just not owned by George Soros? It's funny how they don't do that. So back over here, here's where I get into some of the fact checks. There's a few other notable things in here. Founded in 2003, Dominion Voting Systems is a leading industry supplier for election technology across the U.S., Canada, and globally. That is what they say right on their website. Is it this same sentence? No. That's a quote from their website. Since 2009, Dominion Voting Systems has operated from this location in Canada, a shared office space with the Tides Foundation, a left-leaning donor group. Wow! Let me turn this camera back on. Wow! Who would have ever expected? Who would have ever expected? on here you can go in and you can see who they donate to if you don't believe me that they're a left-wing donor group. Just so interesting. Yeah, here's the FEC data. For Dominion donations. These are Dominion employees that have donated. Act Blue. I know there's a few. Oh, there's a Bernie 2020, $8. How nice of him. I thought at least. There's 106 entries. Only 30 per page. Here, I'll turn that up quick. Deirdre Lazenby. He has a little bit of support for our boy Donald. Interesting. It's just interesting. Anybody can go see this, though. MoveOn.org. That's cool. That's all on the article. You want to go see who Dominion's donating to? So, the firm confirmed that it made a donation of $25,000 to $50,000 during the Clinton Global Initiative meeting in 2014, but claimed that it has no company ownership relations with any member of the Pelosi family, Feinstein family, or Clinton Global Initiative, Smartmatic, Skittle, or any ties to Venezuela. We're going to get into fact-checking all that quick. It's a vast network for donors. Oh, wow. So this is Hillary's donations. Bill and Melinda Gates, yep. Let's see. Where is our sweet little... We can do this. Dominion voting! Boom, confirmed. Confirmed payments. Okay, back here. So, let's break it down. Is Dominion linked to Pelosi? Yes. The AP admits a former aide to Pelosi has represented Dominion as a lobbyist, but so have lobbyists who worked for Republicans. Who cares? I don't care. Oh, wow! Look at that. Look at that. My link no longer. Wow. ABC is really outdoing themselves. This local ABC's taken down this page. So that's nice. You can see, here's the link right here. That's, yep, cool. So, yeah, this is them rewriting history right in front of your face. They hide this, so that's cool. So, is Dominion linked to Feinstein? Yes! Wow, who would have thought? Who would have thought? A Florida Dominion qualification test document. So, I'll open this up. Let me just explain Avid, this company Avid Technologies. They provide headsets and headphones for Dominion. We'll just do just like that. Where is this? I don't see it. It says it's highlighted. Why don't I see it highlighted? Okay, here, yeah. So, the vendor supplied Avid FV blah 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 headphones. There's that, and then you can look through the indexes and stuff down here if you want to find all the details. You can go find unlimited documents. So yep, Feinstein. She would own it. And then I have linked here all of Feinstein's Blum Capital Partners. Yep, you'll see right here. They own Avid Technologies, so that's cool. Debunked that one. So it looks like they are very connected to Dominion. So, right here I just put in Dominion admitted their donation to the Clinton Global Initiative. I don't see how they're going to say they didn't do that and then admit to it in the next sentence. Is Dominion linked to Smartmatic? Now, this is the good one, guys. This is the one everybody needs to still be looking into. We need to still find more about this. You can read about this, but basically it's very true. It started in Venezuela. They used it to steal the Venezuelan election, and from there they used They used business buyouts and sellings and bankruptcies to hide the sale and movement of power through the corporation and the business. So right in this video, the Smartmatic majority owner, Moloch Brown, is going to admit to a license agreement with Dominion. So we'll watch this.
In the running for the repair of existing PCOS machines, as well as the supply of new ones for the 2016 elections. Joining us in the studio is Smartmatic Chairman Lord Moloch Brown. That's Mark Moloch Brown, Lord to me, who is also former Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations and also part of Gordon Brown's cabinet at some point. Mark, thanks for joining us this morning.
Pleasure.
How would you describe the nature of your chairmanship of Smartmatic? Do you see yourself taking a very active role, an executive chairman, if you will?
Well, I'm very involved. I work out of their head offices in London. It's a company that I believe very profoundly in. I've devoted pretty much all of my career to working on the promotion of democracy in elections. I was an advisor here in the 1980s to Cory Aquino.
This is 10 minutes long. I almost did.
And ask you,
I stood out in 1986 outside the election headquarters watching the Comelec vote then, when young Marcos loyalists came out and wept in front of the high altar of Basilan Church and said, you know, we were forced to miscount the vote. The Philippines has a history where this has happened. When the election of President Aquino, the result didn't take weeks, lives were not lost, it took hours, and the result was credibly accepted by the country. And I think that transformation, where a political establishment that was used to the vote's just the beginning, not the end of the bargaining process as to who's president, has had difficulty accepting that this thing has been stripped away from them, that now it really is one man, one woman, one vote. And the Philippines should be very proud in that sense of having the most advanced election system in Asia.
all right, the Comelec had earlier disqualified.
This is a 10-minute video. This should be linked to the exact time that he says it. Go watch this video. He admits, I promise, that they work with Dominion. And then here's Donald Trump's good old 45-minute video. It's important to watch. Everything he said in it is true. Just the other day, Brian Kemp appointed one of his former staffers. I don't want to butcher this name. Jay Lin is his American name now. So Mr. Jay Lin here, he was in a race and he actually lost. And so now his good buddy Brian Kemp issued an executive order right here. I have it screenshotted here too, but oh, cool. Anyways, he issued this executive order that appoints him to, what is it exactly? State Properties Commission. So, you know, when you lose, you never really lose when you're working with the Chinese. Yeah. So here is, goodness, it's not good. It's not looking good for this. Go through, look at this. Look who's been donating to our friend Jay Lin, you know. Look how he spent the money. Did I write it up here, the exact amount? Yeah. So he raised about 60. It's about 60,000, yeah. And then he spent 85,000, leaving him $25,000 in the hole. This is not the kind of man that I would want appointed to anything. But who knows? I'm not a Georgian. Let's explain the executive order. This is exciting. This is actually good news, ladies and gentlemen. Let me explain to you how I think things are going to go down. In 2018, Trump signed this executive order that the DNI has to investigate if there's any foreign influence in our elections. There's a whole list of things. it has to be made a report. It has to be given to the DOJ, the FBI, and the president, blah, blah, blah. The final date for that report this year is December 18th, which is now 4 days away. Within the next 4 days, DNI Ratcliffe, he's a good guy, he's going to release this investigation and his findings. Now, based on everything we're seeing coming out, there is big foreign influence in this election. And so just the other day on the way to the Army-Navy game, Ratcliffe rode with Mr. Trump to the game. So they were probably discussing some good stuff. This is what's going to happen next, I think. I think it's pretty clear. It'll be the 2018 executive order. We could be a little further off action being taken. This is going to be announced, and we're going to have a good idea of what direction we're going towards soon. I expected the Supreme Court case from Texas to get thrown out. It's the same thing. It's kind of procedural. What I think, Trump's known this. We can go back. We can look at his tweets from years back. This is just all from earlier this year. Yeah, this is all from 2020. He knew. He said it many times. He called it out many times. We knew what was going to happen. In 2018, he signed the executive order. He knew. So it's hard to tell where we're going to go from here right now. Once this comes out, we'll have a better idea if through this executive order action will be taken, or maybe the Insurrection Act. Maybe once this information comes out, we go back through the courts. However it may work, Trump has set up many paths to win this election, and that's why he's not conceding. He got the most votes ever. He's gonna win. If YouTube asked, I didn't say that though. So the FBI is currently investigating an attack that happened just yesterday. Let's turn this back on. So there we go. Yesterday, there was a huge foreign attack on the U.S. Treasury. I have the Reuters link right here. If we go to this, I'm sure they'll be crying Russia. Yep. So, of course, it's Russian hackers because, the Russians just want so much to do with our Treasury Department. Couldn't have anything to do with any other country, right? Anyways, the rest of this stuff, the Russia stuff, when they say Russia, they explain, sources familiar believe it's Russia, whatever. Nobody has came out and said that. That's bullshit. But the hack is very real. That's not bullshit. So the National Security Council had a meeting. They have the FBI investigating it. This is a big deal. Huge cyber espionage campaign. So all this ties in together, though, is what I'm getting at. It's not a coincidence that now, all of a sudden, the Treasury's getting hacked. Here's a great article. This is just a nice little fun one. If you go through here, you'll see the many, many pictures of our politicians. Many governors everywhere, from superintendents and principals to meeting with these Chinese lobbyists. I don't know what to make of that. Each case is obviously different. And these are all on official record, these meetings happening. I think we as Americans deserve a good explanation of why China is so involved in our politics. Mike Pompeo goes over to China twice a year, and it's a big deal. But this is happening all over the world. No matter how high up you are in our government, China's wanting to meet with you. China's wanting to talk to you and become allies with us. That's weird in a trade war. I don't know. What do I know? So what I think there's not a chance that at least China, a few other countries, I'm sure, probably Iran, saw some data that Iran could be involved. But at the very least, China influenced this election big time. That's going to come out. I don't think there's any way that they're not sitting on endless amounts of proof of that. Where we go from there, I don't know how you fix that problem. It's never been dealt with before at this, especially not at this scale. So, gonna have to bear with it on here. See, I'm gonna go over and check Twitter, and let's see if anything. Oh, wow, this is a great one, actually. This is great, right here. Let me... This is from our good friend Hillary. I believe we should abolish the Electoral College and select our president by the winner of the popular vote, same as every other office. But while it still exists, I will proudly cast my vote in New York for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Man. Haha, look at this guy. I wonder why I should even bother voting. I voted for you and Al Gore, and you both won and ended up losing. So did they win? Did they win? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, show more replies. You're right. Never vote again. That's great. Anyways, let's see. I don't know. Should we go to see what's trending? I'm on the, not a news network Twitter, so this is Pornhub purged all verified content from platform. That's probably good news. I don't know. Native American is trending. I assume that has something to do with the Indians changing their name. People aren't happy. Cancel cultures in all aspects of the world. Oh, yep, Sandy Hook. It's the anniversary of Sandy Hook. Our friend Jake Tapper was making sure to put out propaganda like a fire hose about that. Yep, check this out. This is not weird, if you ask me. I think this is perfectly normal behavior to post pictures of dead children and look for mourning under your Twitter. Like, I don't know. Like, do you really want to help these families? You can donate to them. I'm not going to get into Sandy Hook, what I think about it. I mean, but don't really see what the point of this is. And now it's become a liberal circle jerk. And they're back to banning guns at the same time that they want to start a fucking civil war. Let's see. Pull up something on Twitter. We'll get some good news. We'll get some breaking news. Something's going to happen big. Let me just tell you. I want to be here live for it. I don't want to have to update you guys later. New from Catherine Herridge. Let's see. Herridge. I don't know how to pronounce all these people's names, too. I don't know. I guess I just always read them, and I've never had to say them out loud, but now I'm saying them out loud, and I'm failing miserably. Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs, Alexei Wolt-Tornist of Federal Government Cyber Breaches. The Department of Homeland Security is aware of cyber breaches across the federal government and working closely with our partners, public and private sector on the federal response. As the federal lead for cyber breaches of civilian federal agencies, the Department of Homeland Security Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency has already issued Emergency Directive 21-01. Yep, that came out yesterday. Compromises related to SolarWinds. So this is a good spot to start. Let's do a little research. So, SolarWind, that's been a big deal. Dominion Voting uses SolarWind. Here's a popular screenshot that's floating around. That's from CISA. So let's see if I can find the picture down here anywhere. If anybody commented it, going to the Twitter comments. Always a bad idea. No, I don't think anybody has. So let's go. This is what we'll do. SolarWinds. They've already started purging a lot of their website. Here's the picture I was looking for, actually. It's right here on this good old Krebs on. Here's just a few things that SolarWind offers interfacing for. I believe SolarWind is just like a technology management system for businesses. So, you know, it'll connect all your stuff together, make it streamlined, easy to use. And also make it easy to hack. So in here we can see U.S. Air Force, U.S. Postal Service, U.S. Department of Defense. I know I saw Secret Service on here. This might be, that was probably on their website. But yeah. So you can see here, McDonald's restaurants, MasterCards, Lockheed Martin, all sorts of great companies. New York Times, yep. Federal Reserve Bank, yep. There it all is. So they have everything. Everybody has everything. Anybody that wants to hack anything right now has hacked it, and they have it. Both sides. And this is happening right under our noses. It's all over the news. So, what does this mean? Let's find out. SolarWinds, more than 425 of the U.S. Fortune 500. So the Fortune 500 companies, 425 of them use SolarWinds. Oh, I hope you guys are ready. Something big's gonna happen. Time's running out. Donald Trump just tweeted, "Wow, this report shows massive fraud. Election-changing result." This is what he's referring to as what we were talking about earlier with that unclassified document. This one right here. So he just retweeted this. They already got him with the tag. Oh, sweet. This is the one article that automatically disproves that there will ever be voter fraud again. That's nice. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. So this was ordered released. It got released. I've shown it to you. I want you guys to go show it to everybody. Whoever ever sees this video. Our first live show. Let's see. We'll go here for a second. Yeah, so this, what I was kind of telling you guys about earlier, that's what's going on all over the place. Pull this up. This is another, the PAGOP. The PAGOP sent their Republican electors vote as well. So, let's see, what do they say? Yep, we took this procedural vote to preserve any legal claims that might be going on presented going forward. Yep, so basically what we're going to have you already got the media talking about, oh, this state, 16 electors just went to blah, 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 yada, yada. They don't know who anybody voted for. Any of those, the Democrats aren't going to do this. The Democrat electors, they could write down Donald Trump's name and put it in. They don't look at those and count them until January 6th. Nobody's supposed to see those. So when you see, for example, let's do one of my favorite things. Let's see what CNN's talking about live right now. I bet they're telling you that they have the exact count of electors. I bet. Biden's projected total. Yeah, so they already got him up to 199 and Trump at 167. This is amazing. Let's see what they got on here. What's this?
In a way, masks are kind of to surgery what the vaccine is to some of these longer.
Yep, so down here, they got their nice little fake counter that means nothing. Just like, oh, this fake counter that means nothing. Go look at source, Johns Hopkins University. That's nice. I wonder why they don't use the CDC, because that's where Johns Hopkins gets their data from. So much for HIPAA laws, guys. What is this? Oh, Christ. They're literally sitting here live streaming people getting the vaccine.
Reduce and slow down.
You can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. They're sitting here live streaming the vaccine. Here she is reading this dude his rights. His fucking Miranda rights, basically. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to be forced to take this vaccine. There's no way we're at 299,000 deaths. That's amazing. Hey, let's do this quick. Let's go to CDC. CDC COVID dashboard, actually. Let's do that. That's exactly what I want. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right here. This is what we want. Oh god, it's opening in charts. Why would it ever do that? Okay, that's terrible. Well, we'll rock with this for a second. This will do. Oh, here, I'll turn the camera off too, so that's not in the way. Boom, what do we have here? So, here's our territories. Let's scroll to the bottom, see the totals. These are the numbers they're using. So, 29 to 296, these numbers are small, 296,000 about. This is in the G column, which is total deaths. Total deaths. Keep that in mind. They don't do a lot of describing. So now, remember this one right beside it. This is called confirmed deaths. Confirmed deaths. Confirmed deaths. Not even about half of what CNN's trying to tell you the deaths are at is how many they've been able to confirm, right? So, of course, they're using this number, total deaths. What is total deaths? Deaths including what? American Samoa? Oh, wow, look at that. Let's see. I bet if we broke this down, we would be able to see the difference between blue and red states reporting. We'd be able to see that confirmed deaths are not reported in a lot of places. That's nice. And so then we got this total deaths. So where does this come from? If they have no data on their probable deaths or confirmed deaths, right? If I was in charge of a healthcare service or whatever it may be, I sure wouldn't want to be like, total, this is our estimated total. What does this mean? And then confirmed deaths, oh, half the states don't know how many are confirmed or not. Let's compare some of these numbers. Here's a state that has confirmed. Oh, Ohio. Confirmed in total deaths. In Ohio, we have a whopping 4,700 total deaths. And then, we have a whopping 4,700 confirmed deaths. Right? And then right here, we have 20,000 total deaths. What is that even? Is that total deaths? Like legit how many people have died? I don't know. That seems low. But I don't know. If I was CNN, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't be using anything but confirmed deaths. I'm not going to tell people someone died if I can't confirm it. That would be called fear-mongering. That's exactly what they're doing. Total cases, total deaths, yeah. CDC loves bragging about how many deaths they got. Look at me, look at us. 1,400 new. What does this chart show? Average daily cases. Oh yeah. Good job, Ohio. We're really giving it to them. Keep it up, guys. Christmas is coming up. Remember, COVID works the same way even the Axis powers did back in World War II. Christmas Day, no fighting. Let's see. So yeah, that's what's up with CNN. Just more propaganda. I don't know. We got to start laying this out. I'm going to need to figure out how I want to structure it for sure. I want to start getting other people on. Trump is once again lying on Twitter about election fraud. Kyle Griffin. That's what Kyle Griffin had to say. Okay, here's a great video that I just found. This is actually really good. Let's pull this up. Boop, 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 boop. Jenna Ellis said, boss certification.
For the Speaker of the House, for the Speaker of the Senate, the Capitol is closed unless you have an officer to conduct business today, or if you are taking part in the Electoral College process. Anybody else is not permitted to come in. Yeah, the electors are already here. They've been checked in.
Not all the electors are in sight.
Capitol is closed. All 16 electors that we've been advised by the governor's staff that we're going to be here to vote in the Electoral College have been checked in. They're already here.
But the GOP electors, I'm sorry.
I understand.
Ian's here.
The Capitol
Captain?
is closed. Everybody else permitted to come forward.
Cap.
For the Capitol Commission, for the governor's office, for the Speaker of the House.
So, Michigan is blocking the GOP electors. So they're trying to do the same thing that all the other states are doing. They're trying to send in their votes too. So there'll be an equal number of votes for Trump and Biden that come in. The votes that they'll go off of, as of now, would be the DNC electors. But the GOP electors are trying to get their vote in there. So in the event that they do have to use the GOP elector vote, these are GOP electors. The cops aren't letting them in is what's going on. The cops won't let them in to where they're casting the electors.
I'm sorry.
I understand.
Ian's here.
The Capitol is closed. Everybody else permitted to come forward.
Cap.
So basically, it's just a group of electors. Yeah. So they got their police force that's on their payroll sitting out here. No, you can't come in. We don't know who you are. This is just insane. Let's see what Twitter's got a new live members casting their vote. Where is this? Is this in the Congress Hall? Where is this? Trump has said his attempt to overturn the election results is not over. On January 6th, Congress will count the electoral votes. Oh, they're talking. Nobody cares what they have to say. Probably, maybe. What is... No, who knows what they're freaking doing. Let's see. I bet the comments on all these are great. Let's see. I think the one thing most Americans can agree on is the Electoral College needs to go. So look, I think it's very funny to always watch what their agenda is at the time. So they're convinced that they're winning the Electoral College and that Trump has no routes to victory. He can't win. But they want to abolish the Electoral College. Hillary's leading this charge. I showed you the Hillary tweet. This is just... The Electoral College needs to give all their votes to Biden, even in the states Trump won. Look at this one. Like, oh, this is brainwashing at its finest. These people have heard for 4 years straight. They know nothing about how elections work, how electors, what even electors are, probably. All they know is Hillary said Electoral College bad, so it is bad. CNN said Orange Man bad, so he is bad. It's just honestly amazing. Freaking amazing. Oh yeah, get the vaccine. Line right up. Everybody can't wait to get their vaccine. They're promoting this. Yep. Look at the doctors getting it. Same way back in the 40s, the freaking the doctors used to tell you that cigarettes would cure cancer. Whatever they did back then. A cigarette a day keeps the doctor away, right? Let's see. Oh, got something on my phone. I'm gonna go over and check the world of Parler on my phone. See if there's any good information going on over here. Here, I'll check a few things actually. Oops. So here's another video.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Timmer, and behind me is the state capitol for Michigan, and to my right is the GOP building. Right now we're standing outside. We have two breaking news stories, one regarding the Dominion results and the other regarding the electors. Ian Northman is with me here today, and he is going to speak to what is taking place here with the Michigan electors. Ian, would you mind filling us in a bit?
Hi, thank you. So behind me in the Capitol, the Democratic slate of electors are being seated by the governor with fancy ceremonies and quill pens. But over to my right, the Republicans are doing their constitutional duty, along with legislatures, to continue their investigation and slate an alternate slate of Trump electors. That process has happened several times before in our nation's history, but never here in Michigan. It's happened most recently as 1960 with Hawaii, when they sent electors for both Nixon and JFK in order to satisfy their disputed or ongoing election. And that's important because as recently as this morning, over the strenuous objections of the Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, and the Attorney General's office, a forensic report was released involving Dominion voting software. It affected the votes up in Antrim County and northern Michigan County, and that software is used in several counties throughout Michigan, and it showed conclusively more than 60% error rate. Under federal law, the error rate is supposed to be less than 0.2%, and here in a single county in Michigan, more than 60% error rate for the tabulation or the counting of the votes, and more than 80% error rate when they were doing what they call adjudications. That's something that The Michigan legislature has a constitutional duty to ensure accuracy and integrity. That's something I think they take seriously and need that time, need that alternate slate of electors so that they can finish their investigation and get to the bottom of what really happened.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying earlier. They're sending the alternate slate of electors, which are the GOP electors. Because states have falsely certified. This is going to come out that they've been falsely certified. We know they're falsely certified, but it's going to become official when more things like this forensic audit, once again, that just came out today. This is a huge deal. I keep coming back to this. This is a huge deal. I'll put the link in the chat again. But basically, what we're hearing here in Michigan is they're not allowing them to even do this. This is fully within their constitutional right to do, to send an alternate slate of electors. Other states are doing it. I showed the video of Arizona doing it. PA's done it. In the case of a contested election, which this election is very contested. People need to understand that whether the courts rule that there's evidence of fraud or not, as long as there's even one person that doesn't believe the results are correct and they can't be assured, there's no way. The Democrats haven't given us any way to assure that this vote's correct. They just say, trust us, we've certified it. It's certified. I mean, what do you mean there's fraud? We certified it. There can't be fraud if we certified it. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, yep, this is going the same way as everything else. This is all leading to the point. It's, imagine like a pyramid, everything coming to the point. We're making our way up. Once we get to that top tip of the pyramid, everything is so tight and compacted. Everything has come to a head, and that would be the time that, if it's the executive order, if it's the Insurrection Act, that's implemented. We might still be like a week or two away from that. But stuff's going to start happening quick. So today, all sorts of stuff's coming out today. Let's try to keep up. Let's see. "18 minutes ago, the Federalist posted an article." Let's open this up. Let me send this over to my computer. Alrighty. It's a Federalist article from today. The Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled Monday that residents, not county clerks, are responsible for determining their voter status. Warrants an absentee ballot submission without providing voter ID. Let's see. And a unanimous ruling. Yep. So their excuse in Wisconsin is the reason they got rid of checking voter ID is just because of, COVID, people, blah, blah, blah. People can't sign their name because of COVID. Like, it's just nothing adds up. They have no solid defense. And so the Wisconsin Supreme Court made this ruling. And then what you'll see in the news, if you try to look into the Wisconsin Supreme Court ruling, let's just do it right now. Let's see what Google says. Wisconsin Supreme Court. We're going to see rejects Donald Trump's election challenge, blah, blah, blah. So, part of the suit was to block the certification of the electors in Wisconsin, because obviously there's some big bad stuff happening in Wisconsin. We have countless amounts of proof of that. So what they did is they admitted, as we see here, that it's unconstitutional to say coronavirus is a reason to abandon the voter ID requirement, which they did. So, but what they do is then they make sure to throw out the other part of the case. And that's what the media is going to report on. That's the common theme that you see in almost everyone. Basically, I'll tell you, almost every time you see the liberal media come out and say another case has been thrown out for the Trump team, what they're actually saying, people don't realize some of these cases are designed to be thrown out. Once you get what you're requesting in the case, there's no reason. The case is moot. There's no reason to continue with the case. It's just a waste of time at that point. For example, there's a few cases thrown out because they requested an audit of the votes or a recount. And the states were like, oh, okay, we'll do a recount. They throw it out. They do the hand recount. As I mentioned earlier, the hand recount's never going to show these problems. I mean, that's just how the system is designed. That's the way they did it. If you look into any of this, if we go read this report again, the way they did it, obviously a hand recount would never show that error. So, yep, that's some good news. What should we talk about? What should we look into next? I don't know. Let's see. Here's another article. This is from a few months ago, I believe. Let's see. Goodbye. Okay. So this was Brad Raffensperger civil action suit. Yeah, filed 10/11/20. So this was filed a few days after the election. It's doomed to repeat the same day over and over again. I wake up every day. Yeah. So far, kind of what it's saying is, constituents, we as the people, there's no way we can trust these machines. Concerns have been raised many times. Another common thing you're going to hear a lot recently is, oh, they should have filed this lawsuit 2 months ago, you know? So what do you think the Democrats would have said if Trump filed... Texas files a lawsuit that Biden cheated 5 days before the election. What's the media going to take and do with that? Like, the court's not going to throw that out, us saying, well, in the future, we think this is going to happen. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. We caught it happening, and now they're trying to say, well, it's too late now. You can't show us that it happened now. You should have showed us months ago. Well, we showed you. I mean, we can go right over here and look at all these tweets. Look at all these tweets. 80 million unsolicited ballots. Yeah, there was whole states that sent out everybody an absentee ballot. You could, just in case you wanted to, you know? Just in case you wanted an absentee ballot. I mean, we could go through Twitter and find probably thousands of examples of people getting 2 ballots they could have sent into. And those are the honest people that will turn that extra ballot back in or say something about it, you know? Let's see. Let's see what else. What else? I don't know. There's so much. I could go back and talk about some things from the past few days too. Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Nevada have all been able to put in their GOP electors so far, so that's good. The Democrats are mad. What's up, Cameron? The Democrats are mad right now. They're on Twitter talking about so I just said Nevada, PA. What was the other one? Not Michigan. They're holding Michigan out. But in Nevada, PA, and Georgia, those are the three so far that they're saying Biden won. We know Trump won them. We know. Been saying this since election night. So what they've done is they've sent the electors from those three states. The Democrats are pissed. Let me read you this comment. I might have just lost it. I hope not. Nope, here it is. So, from reading the replies, it seems that people don't understand that this is not only a meaningless gesture, but is a violation of norms and laws. These are not electors, they're traitors. Couldn't I just turn around the same thing and say the same thing back to them? That's what they don't realize. They're the same people that'll tell you you're in a cult. They're the same people that'll tell you you're killing people for not wearing a mask and trying to go to work and feed your family, put food on the table. These are the same people that are trying to tell you that you're bad, you're evil, Trump is evil. These are the weak-minded people. Notice how none of them can ever bring you any facts. It's in violation of laws and norms. What law? As we just showed the video earlier, they were talking about how in the JFK election with Nixon, which, I don't know if you've heard about that election. I like JFK, I think he's a good guy, but I will say there was definitely a lot of sketchy shit in that election. Maybe sketchy shit for a reason, I don't know. But there's some sketchy shit in that election. Anyways, Hawaii, they were still under contestment. They didn't know. They were still doing investigations. So what they do is they send both groups of electors. Hawaii they weren't trying to do a coup then, so they didn't certify their result and try to move forward and bury everything, you know. They just sent both electors. So now what we're trying to do is send both electors, even though they've gone ahead and certified these results. So what'll happen after that is now that they've certified the results, they sent the electors. Let's just say if voter fraud evidence widespread, it's found, every person who was involved with certifying this election, who was involved with investigating it, who was involved with making rulings on cases, is going to be in a huge pile of trouble. This is treason. This isn't like this, like we're not playing around with stealing a pack of gum from the gas station. Like what these people have done, if they're convicted of treason, it's a 20-year minimum prison sentence. 20-year minimum. I think there's going to be a lot of back doors, a lot of cuts in the background and deals cut, whatever it is. But if you wanted to restructure the government and root out corruption, this is the way to do it. I mean, say say the Supreme Court would have ruled one way or the other, ruled that there was no fraud and whatever, put it to rest there. Or they ruled in favor of Trump that there was massive fraud, we cannot certify this election, and overturn it and say Trump won. That can't really happen because then half of America's pissed either way, right? So what's happening now, they've thrown this case out. Trump has worked his way up from the very lowest courts to the very highest courts, and the whole way along the line, he's exposed who's just a partisan hack throwing out stuff for no good reason. There haven't been a lot of good guys that have came out and stood up. For example, Governor Kemp. So the issue here is, he's a Republican. You'd assume he'd be on Trump's side, whatever. Like, that's very bad to assume. We live in a uniparty system. There's only one party. There's only the party of politicians. They've created the two parties because obviously everybody doesn't think the same. They've created the two-party system to try to convince people that what is happening is that you either believe this or that. They know, we all know too, that everybody has their own opinions, and everybody should be free to think and share those opinions and what they think would be best for us, right? And what's best for them. This is what liberals are against more than anything, okay? Even more, what they hate even more than you being a crazy Trump supporter or whatever, they hate you thinking for yourself. They hate you questioning things. They hate, like, for example, voter fraud. Don't question voter fraud. This is the safest and securest election ever. What's wrong with you? That's just, these are the same people that told us for 4 years Russia stole the 2016 election. Keep in mind. Let's see. Is there Google News? How do you get to Google News? Let's see what Google News says. Oh, this has got to be good. I never go to Google News. Electors meeting to formally choose Biden as president. Wow. Joe Biden has a fine line to walk. Let's see about Joe Biden's fine line. Let's see what Washington WAPO's saying. Oh, they're not going to make me pay to read this. Good. To date, Biden has avoided condemning or even commenting on efforts to subvert our democracy. Why do you think that is? Do you think that's because Biden wants our democracy to be subverted? Option number one, he's just ignoring it because he enjoys our democracy being subverted. Option number two, what's option number two? I mean, he knows he cheated, and he's gonna come out and lie more and bury himself more? No. So this is the classic Biden. He's already admitted how many times that he committed voter fraud. Like, it's insane. Let's see. Yep. President Trump should be publicly rebuked for his most egregious violation of his oath of office. Amazing. Al Gore graciously accepted the outcome. That's amazing. That's amazing. We're going to see a Biden concession before the end of the year. Mark my words. Like, that's the way I assume it ends up going, is Biden just ends up conceding. Amazing. Let's go back. Let's go back to Google News. U.S. officials scramble to deal with suspected Russian hack of government agencies. So, that's perfect. This goes back to what I was talking about earlier. The hack's confirmed. The FBI and CISA's looking into it. But here is the media. This is from CNN. In the New York Times, of course. But here they are. Anything, they're going to try to spin it Russia. They try to spin it so quick. Now, any liberal that sees this, their cognitive dissonance will just say, oh, it's Russia, so it's Trump doing the bad stuff. It's not Biden or his friends. It's Trump because it's Russia. And there's nothing, there's no evidence whatsoever that Russia is involved with that, by the way. Let's see. This is interesting. Psychedelic drug DMT to be trialed in UK to treat depression. That's good. They'll find. I'm sure they'll find it successful, honestly. U.S. sanctions Turkey over purchase of Russian S-400 missile system. It looks like the U.S. is not happy about that. Not happy that Turkey is buying missile defense systems. Vaccine distribution. That's what's going on today. Real big deal. Such a big deal that they got fucking live streams of everybody getting poked. Like, yeah, look at them. Look at come on, join the club. You're gonna see YouTube vloggers like day in the life, finally getting my COVID vaccine. Like, oh, my big day has finally come. I've waited so long to get the vaccine. Oh man. Cuomo, de Blasio warned New York City to prepare for full shutdown. It just keeps getting worse in New York City, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is insane. This is what Cuomo is doing. Like, he's not even hiding the fact. He is trying to destroy and bury this state. And de Blasio is trying to destroy and bury his city. De Blasio is a fucking embarrassment, to say the least, to the city of New York. What? Socialists blast de Blasio for reneging on promises to keep schools closed? Oh my god, that's great. Let's see what this says. The socialists are so mad they're opening schools. They're like, no, learning is bad. The fucking socialist.
Nothing beats the fun of new
Fuck
technology
you.
during
Turn
the
off this
holidays.
ad. Alright. What do the socialists think? The World Socialist website. This is a real place. New York City's workers condemn. Oh, I wonder what workers they're talking about. The United Federation of Teachers. Oh, I'm on a salary job and I get 4 months out of the year off. I don't want to work. I don't want to go to school and teach these kids. And here come the socialists. They're like, yeah, we're here to keep you out of work, teachers. We're here to... It's just insane. Without consulting its membership. Like, yeah, I wouldn't consult you motherfuckers either. You wanted to be a teacher. You think... Like, what? Has anybody gone a full year of school without somebody not getting sick? You get sick, you miss a few days, you get better, and you get back to your fucking job. It's so simple. Oh, petition. They're petitioning to close the school. Let's see if it says how many people. Let's get to 5,000, guys. Let's get to 5,000 to close the schools. They fucking can't. These are 2,500 teachers have already signed that they don't want to work, but they still want to get paid. It's amazing. And I have nothing against teachers. I've had great teachers. And I think unions, for the most part, are very important and very good. Teachers' unions, on the other hand, their agenda has nothing to do with keeping teachers safe. Their agenda has nothing to do with getting teachers paid more. Their agenda has to do with appeasing to the teachers, so then the people at the top of those teacher unions are able to tell them, oh yeah, I know this is what you want. You don't want to be working during COVID. This is what you want. You want to listen to me. You want to do what I say. And so then we got an example, the Chicago Teachers Union deleted tweet. Let's see what Chicago teachers think about going to school. What do they think? Oh, Sweet Fox. Let's not put a screenshot of it. Oh, they do. Do they? I don't know. The now deleted tweet. The tweet is unavailable. Like, thanks for linking to a deleted tweet. Why wouldn't you screenshot it? Anyways, what it said was it was the Chicago's teacher union saying that it is rooted in sexism, racism, and misogyny. The 3 liberal buzzwords. They love saying those ones. That's what reopening schools is rooted in. And so here's a good tweet. Some people really don't like doing their jobs. Like, yeah, that's facts. These people hate working. Lazy ass teachers. And this is just an example. Like, nobody forced these people to become teachers, did they? When they were born, did, like, the doctor say, you're required to become a teacher when you grow up? No one's forcing them to work. If they don't want to work because COVID's too scary, quit. Is that not, like, the simplest idea ever? I don't know. I like that one. Oh, sweet. That's cool. That's great news. Great news. NYC's going down. The Portland Red House. Now, I can tell you a few things about this. So the Red House that they tried to evict people from, they posted a video claiming that they were trying to evict them and they couldn't pay because of COVID. COVID made it so they can't pay the rent. And now we find out, Ted Wheeler apologizing to the terrorists. That's nice. Now we find out that the police were trying to evict them because they were setting up this, is the picture here? This glorious part of their new town. Here's CHOP number 4. They couldn't tell you. The Antifa legitimately does not know why CHOP doesn't work. They're like, we keep taking all this trash in the street and building walls and it just won't fucking work. It's just crazy. It's not fucking communism yet. We're trying to put in communism in this block and it won't work. And the illegal occupation. Like, oh my god. Ted Wheeler, there's literally just an autonomous zone in Ted Wheeler's fucking city. There's a zone that he's not allowed in, his cops aren't allowed in. We all agree many of our nation's systems and structures are fundamentally racist. What? How? Who? Most? Many? We all agree. Who are we all? Insane. Absolutely insane. Beller Thorne's tweeting. I'm sure that's nothing good. Make sure not to click on that. Keep it YouTube friendly. We ask our reporters to think critically. That is not like... And so liberals see this and they're like, think critically. Yeah, that means be mean and even more stubborn about what my opinions are. Portland Red House occupation persists for 3rd month. Owner has not contacted the Kinney family. The eviction defense has grown. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's when good old Bill got attacked by a fucking shoe. No, that was pretty fucking legendary. Hell yeah. Let's move CHOP out here, boys! The new Portland's looking good. God bless Portland. Wow, it's amazing. People are gonna wake up from this fairy tale. I mean, this is a fucking fairy tale. This is delusions made into the real world. Like, these people think the entire government's coming out to get them. They've been convinced that they need to set up walls. Oh yeah, I love this. Kyle Griffin. Experts say Trump needs a miracle to be right. Well, miracles do happen, I guess. Here's miracle number 1. Now they're saying he's going to need a miracle to win this election. Just like they said he needs a miracle to win in 2016. Here's our best friends, Bill and Hillary. Yay. There's my president. And there's my ex-president. Yay. That's crazy. This is the first time they've been seen together since the Monica Lewinsky situation. But yeah, it's just great. It's just great. Let's see what Ron's been saying. Ron's a good guy. If you guys don't follow Ron, go follow my man Ron. Yep, everybody's still talking about the Michigan forensic findings. I mean, this is a big deal, guys. Anybody that comes upon this video, I'll make sure to put this in the description afterwards. Share this out. Get this out. Read this. Read this cover to cover. I mean, this right here, this is facts. They went in, they tested everything, and they found the fucking fraud. Change of 309 votes for State Proposal 20-1. And I heard a lot of stuff too. A lot of states voted to decriminalize marijuana, which I agree with. Marijuana should be decriminalized. Nobody's really worried about that as the problem. That's what they cheated on that huge, because like that won overwhelmingly, and I feel like it would have passed either way. But there's just so much evidence of them taking like the things that are on the ballot, the bills that are on the ballot, and cheating for those. Because I mean, who's gonna? What is the anti-bill for that gonna come out and protest that election? I guess not. Let's see what propagandanews.com is reporting's going on. High-tech shipping. For the first time ever, we've created a way that we can ship things to you without them getting destroyed. Amazing. Florida man pays neighbor's utility bills for second straight Christmas. Now that's the news I want to see. Ooh, Michigan State House closes over safety concerns? Didn't we just see them kicking people out? I think this is from last night. Could be today. There you go, Fox. No way to prove that statement right there, but we have no proof of this besides the Dominion voting machine saying so. Not a lot going on. People are being quiet. Why is that? Governor Mike DeWine, today I was proud to participate in Ohio's electoral college process in which all of Ohio's votes are going to at-real Donald Trump. Old DeWine boy's trying to keep his job is what that means. There's rumors floating around that Assange could be pardoned, and now people are saying that it's not true, but I don't know. I have a weird feeling he could get pardoned very soon. Yeah, this is good to talk about. So at the end of the day today, I've been talking about a little bit. CNN, MSNBC, just MSM in general. They're going to be posting and pushing this huge idea that it's over. Nothing can change now. Absolutely zero can change. The votes have been casted, they're in the box, and they're gone, right? They're really going to try to push that. If you're a patriot of this country, a Trump supporter, whatever reason brings you to this side of the political spectrum now, you need to understand that that is not the end. Let's see, look at this. So, we need to keep spreading this information that comes out. More audits are going to happen. I promise more audits are going to happen. We need to keep pushing and pressuring, especially if you're in a state where like one of these swing states where this is happening, you should be calling your constituent of somebody who represents you in your House and your Senate and everything, the whole way up. So we need to be calling those people. We need to tell them that we don't want the election. Just make that claim like, no, that's not what we want. We want this election investigated and investigated fairly. We want to know who is the rightful winner of our election. And if they can audit all the votes, they can do a forensic audit of all this, and they can prove that Joseph Biden did not cheat, there was no fraud, not going to happen, I'll happily accept Biden as my president. And all of America would. I mean, that's just how our elections work. We're not going to... People wouldn't actually try to start a coup like what they're trying to say. The coup is very clearly coming from one side, and it's the same side that keeps using the word coup. Alexei Navalny, that dude that was poisoned. Russian specialist. Still working hard to make Russia seem like the bad guys get up in our news when it has nothing to do with us. New York City could get a foot of snow. That's gonna suck for outdoor dining. Canton fire destroys several homes overnight. This is from my neck of the woods. What happened? It's going down in Canton. Holy shit. I don't even know about this. Has Nut reported on this? Has Nut reported on the Canton fires? Why is Canton burning down? Anyways. Why Tesla stock jumped on Monday? Vaccine fact check? Let's see. I would bet my left arm that Donald Trump can't spell vaccine, let alone make a prediction about when we're likely going to see one. Yeah, they really played themselves. They're going to need a miracle for there to be a vaccine this year. That's what they told us. That's what good old Kyle Griffin, good old can never tell a lie Kyle Griffin said. It's going to take a miracle for us to get a vaccine this year. We have 3. So yeah, there's miracle number 1. Miracle number 2 is coming soon. Not gonna be good for him when it does. Who's still in the chat right now? What should I look up? What should I talk about? I'm gonna tweet this out. Tweet out the live stream again. Not a News Network. Make sure you visit our website, notanews.network. Gonna keep posting stuff on here. This live stream's on there right now too if you want to watch it on there. Oops, I went to the wrong page. This is our episode number 1. This is just getting a feel for things, honestly. I want to structure this and have a set out plan. I can just line up things to talk about and show before, but tune in live. Tweet. Got 4 viewers right now. That's our newest top part. Let me just real quick explain where I want to take Not a News Network and what's going on here. So right now I'm going to try to do these live streams basically daily. Just keep people informed on the stuff that they don't want to inform you about. So, for example, no matter what you're watching. I mean, even Newsmax. There's a lot of stuff Newsmax won't touch with a 10-foot pole because they're scared to be wrong. I'm going to tell you everything that's out on this live show. And when we make videos and stuff, I'll make some edited down videos. Those will be different. Those won't be opinion pieces. Those will just be reporting. But this, I want to involve a lot of back and forth, a lot of encouraging people to go out and do. What I'd like to do is these live streams, like start looking into things that come out. It's kind of been a slow day for investigating stuff, which kind of sucks. And then we go out, people in the chat, like, hey, look into this. I just saw this, blah, blah, blah. But that's kind of, there's a major gap right now. Like, we need people like that. We need people who are independent, who aren't just echoing what they hear on the news, people that are willing to look into who these people are. Because we're the news now. It's up to us. Does this link work or is it broke? No, it ain't broke. Tune in live. We are live. Yeah, John Durham was put on a special counsel. I don't know if you heard about that. AP reported it the same day that the AP reported that Mr. Bill Barr also has found no evidence of voter fraud. So they made sure to report those at the same time to bury one of them, and I'm sure you know the story they buried. It wasn't the one about Durham. Or it wasn't the one about voter fraud. It was indeed the one about Durham, the one they buried. But the teams expanded to include numerous federal prosecutors. Hopefully this is a good thing. Hopefully it's not more lip service coming from Durham, who hasn't been seen in person in years. Bill Barr, who knows what to think about him? I don't know if Trump knows what to think about him right now, and I don't know if the deep state knows what to think about him right now. Let's just be clear, the deep state's very real. Indictment's coming next week. I keep seeing this post. That is kind of funny. As much as I'd love to see it, and I hope, I don't think we'll ever see the deep state per se indicted. I think that'll all be done behind the scenes because for America's own good. There's reasons why, for example, the Soviet Union fell as soon as they put in the glass-door policy and started telling people all the terrible things they were doing. People were up in arms, their own citizens now. So that's kind of what will be avoided. Because what happens if you arrest 60% of politicians all of a sudden? That's not a good look. I'm not saying that they'll leave in the corruption or that they won't do anything about it. I just think they won't use traditional ways. That's some facts. Let's see. Kyle Becker posted lately. They explain dueling electors. Here, I'll go ahead and post this Router's article in the chat, because then if you guys are curious about why they're sending electors in states that they're saying Biden won, this will give you a good idea. So there's that. Probably just more of the same. I don't want to repeat anything I've said. The popular vote in each state typically determines. Not this time, not this time. Not when your whole election is frauded. Oh yeah, so this happened early this morning. I don't know if you guys heard this. Google went down. Google and YouTube were completely out this morning. Just very interesting. Probably testing how quick they can take down all their services so people can't spread information. There's your live stream, live now on the website. That's sweet. Let's see. I'm really waiting on something big to happen. I didn't plan a lot of stuff to talk about, but yeah, at 8 p.m. tonight, Joe Biden's supposed to give his I didn't cheat speech. That'll be good. Yeah, so as it stands now with these dual electing electors, you've probably heard Congress about how Congress would vote on an election and decide on January 6th. I don't see that happening. I don't see Congress overturning an election, regardless of political spectrum, who's in control. So I think something else is happening, definitely. There is an Arizona State Senate Judiciary hearing on election fraud right now. If you guys want to go watch that, it's on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Look at this. Yep, I got a good one for you guys now. What do we have here? Michigan. This is where they're not letting in.
Remain standing for the national anthem and the Black national anthem by the Turner sisters, Jalea and Jamila Turner.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening.
So, could you imagine? Hold on. Could you imagine if Texas, when they went to put in their electoral votes today, if they started off, they're like, we're going to have the white national anthem by Brad and Chad. Brad and Chad are going to sing the white national anthem right before we send these electors for Donald Trump. Well, how would the media take and spin that? But somehow this isn't racist. Somehow the black national anthem isn't racist. Somehow the same way that they used COVID as an excuse to kick out Republican poll watchers, they're using skin color to kick out Republican electors now. I mean, it's just great. One of the comments, I took a knee. Yeah. So they went ahead and sang their national anthem, sent their electors. That is where, so at the Michigan, in Michigan is where they were live streaming earlier. CBS is reporting that the death toll has reached over 300,000. Anybody that believes that, pull my finger and I'll shit out a bar of gold for you. Let's see. Prince Andrew stayed at Epstein's New York City mansion in 2001, despite denying it. Judge Sullivan's still mad that he couldn't indict a innocent man. This Hillary Clinton just casted her electoral vote for Kamala Harris and the liberals are so happy, but isn't that the most ironic thing? One of the most ironic things ever. So at the Arizona State hearing, Addie Liddy claimed that Maricopa County cannot do a forensic audit because of ongoing litigation. Josh Barnett, who he is an Arizona congressman, he said they can vote 3-2 to have one done. Colonel Waldron, who's done a few other ones, is ready to do it. They're ready to do it. And they just keep making up lies. They're like, we can't do it. Sorry, we can't approve it. So they're just dodging it. If you have nothing to hide, what are you hiding? Yeah, so let me explain what happened with the SolarWinds and Orion hack and why this is a big deal to this election. Dominion uses that same service, so it has those same backdoors. The same way all these other companies were hacked. You're not going to see the media talking about how it includes Dominion. How it includes how easy it was to hack. It would have been just as easy to hack Dominion. These people only got hacked because they hacked everybody. It was a huge hack. Stacey Abrams did not wear a mask today inside of the Georgia Capitol building when they put in their electors. So Stacey Abrams is a murderer and a COVIDiot. Ranked choice voting algorithm was enabled on the Dominion systems. The president of the Senate, who is Mike Pence, decides which electors to count. He can also disregard a state. If Biden gets less than 270 electors, the 12th Amendment is invoked and a contingent election is held, with the House voting for president and the Senate for VP. Each state is reduced to one vote, so Trump wins by default. So that's one way that with these electors being put in, they can win. Supreme Court could rule in the future, and rule to use those electors. Kind of a waiting game. Okay, here's some big news coming out right now. So I'll pull this up on the screen. So, forgot the Black National Anthem video's been up. All right, so from Georgia, the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, says Georgia will conduct a signature audit in Cobb County. Results to be released in 2 weeks. 2 weeks is kind of sad. It's kind of pathetic. They'll take 2 weeks to make sure they fake it good and don't get caught, maybe. We'll have to see. But this is good news. If the audit's done correctly and with poll watchers, yeah, the comments are even saying meaningless if it's not adequately supervised. Some people are saying meaningless regardless. So we'll see. See what comes of this, but that's good news. It's just sad. This stuff should have been done a long time ago. And not only should there need to be a signature audit, there should be signature matching. We can go look at the data about how many less ballots didn't match the signature this year than previous years. And these are mail-in ballots. There's only a couple thousand mail-in ballots years before. And the amount of signatures that they would get that didn't match was very, very low. Much less than 1%. Or, that's what you'd expect, right? So what's happening now is it's extremely low. Like, there was, let's just say for ease of use, say in 2016 a state mailed out 1,000 mail-in ballots. Maybe like 6 of those come back as the signature doesn't match. So flash forward to this year, a state sends out 100,000 mail-in ballots, and only like 2 of them, the signatures don't match. So while there's 10 times more mail-in ballots, there's 10 times less signatures that don't match. Anybody that knows anything about statistics and probability knows quite simply that that is a major red flag and that should be looked into. Not much going on. We could talk about Hunter Biden. I haven't talked about Hunter Biden in a little bit. Mentioned him a few times today, but... So, this laptop, CNN's even reporting on it now. They're investigating Hunter Biden. What this doesn't mention is that Biden's brother's also being investigated. Biden is most likely probably being investigated too, but they're not going to put that out there. Same way they denied having the laptop. The FBI took possession of the laptop in late 2019. So they spent this entire year telling you this laptop doesn't exist. They spent this entire year telling you it was Russian disinformation. And the whole time they knew they had it for almost 2 years now. At least one of the matters in being investigated is the 2017 gift of a 2.8 carat diamond. What a nice gift. I just commonly gift things like that to my friends. So, yep. And this is what they spent 4 years trying to tell you Trump's son was. Trump's son's meeting with Russian spies. They're with the Russians. The whole time it was Biden meeting with the Chinese. So, alright. I think I'm going to end this one. I need to get up to 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 viewers. There's a few, things we got to hit on YouTube to, have full access to stuff. But, this is where the grind starts. So, I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you follow my Twitter right now at HighReadyNVGs. And make sure, more importantly, you follow at NotANewsNet on Twitter. Let's see where's my profile? Make sure you go give us a follow. We're up to 4 now. Boom. Make sure you check out our website right here. I'll make sure to keep posting anything big that happens. I'll get it on here quick. But that's pretty much it. We went for 2 hours a day. I'll try to do streams every day. I'll try to get a schedule, like set time, when it'll start and stop. This first one, I just want to kind of get it out there so it exists. And also so I could see how it runs now. I haven't live streamed on YouTube in years, so I didn't really know how the system works now. It's a lot different. There's a lot more to it. But yeah, so we'll get this all set up, and Not a News Network is gonna thrive. I'm gonna be very dedicated to bringing you guys mostly stuff to make you think, honestly. I'm not part of one side. If the Republicans do something bad, I'll be the first to tell you. If the Democrats do something bad, I can't wait to fucking tell you. So, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you check out our website. I have more information on there. Keep looking at Twitter, because I will, if I decide on times and stuff and more organization stuff for this, I'll explain it. But yeah, make sure you share the stuff. Share our website. This is just the beginning, but it's going to be good. Going to be some good stuff happening soon too, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. So